Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Sue Erickson, the Soggy Stamper, and I am going to show you how to do the Joseph's coat technique today. I have a couple of samples for you. This is the card that oh, wait, I gotta turn this down. Oh, first, this is the card we're going to make. And so I'm glad that you all have joined in. If you have any questions, I will try to answer them at the end. Hi, Ro. It's good to see you. Any rate, I will try to answer your questions at the end because as soon as I turn the camera, I won't be able to see. I have my iPad available, but so far I haven't been able to watch it as well as do the stamping. I guess I can't do two things at the same time. So at any rate, I'm going to turn the camera up, so I'm going to cover over the lens a little bit so that it's not so awkward for you guys. So I'll turn it down just a sec. There. Now that was maybe better than the last week. I'm still trying to figure out how to do all of these things. So, at any rate, this is called the Joseph's coat, and I showed you this is the card that we're going to be doing. And I used shaded spruce for the background for the overall ink. And that I think is really pretty, but I have a different one that I did with the early espresso, and I like the contrast with that too. You could use black, you can use any color that you want, but whatever, it's a really magical technique. So let's get started. The materials that we will be using are the Granny Apple Green 8.5 by 5.5 cardstock for the card base, folded in half, scored if you were one of those who likes to score before you fold. Anything over that like that. And I'm going to put a layer of Whisper White on there behind the piece that we're going to do. I don't know about you guys, but with this new adhesive, I have a hard time getting it to start there. Always seems like I have to advance the tape just a little bit because the very end pulls off. It's good and sticky though. It's called Stamp and Steel. Stamp and Seal, not steel, no. Stamp and Seal. Okay, so there, we'll set our card base aside. Now on this card, I used plain Whisper White for the to do the technique, and I don't know if you can see, but it's a little bit warped because of all the ink that's on there. So I decided that it's better if you use the extra thick Whisper White, which is what I'm going to do now. So we begin by sponging randomly, however we like. I'm going to use the Bermuda Bay and some Granny Apple Green and Just Jade, which is one of the new 2020-2022 ink colors, and a sponge, and you just sponge spots on, kind of randomly around. Burnish them in pretty well, like that. I chose these colors because I'm using the Forever Fern stamp set, and I thought the greens and the blues would look really nice with it. And finally, the Granny Apple Green. Add a little bit of brightness to it. Kind of fill in the blanks. Don't really have to worry too much about filling in the blanks. Because what is blank will get covered up by your base coat. Okay. So each time you do this, it's going to turn out differently. I think I'm going to add a little more of the Just Jade, because I've got these colors all lined up. I want a little bit of variation there, so a little bit there. There. Okay, the next step is we're going to stamp with Versamark. Here's my Versamark. Guess how old this pad is. Still works. I have re-inked it several times, but it still works. I do have a newer one, but I always reach for this one for some reason. So randomly stamp on your cardstock. Can't see it very well because this is a watermark ink. And to see where you've stamped, you kind of have to let the light shine on it. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can see it there. Let's see. Put one here. Doesn't matter if you overlap it a bit. And then the third one I'm going to put is another leaf. So I've used the stamp with the berries, and I've used the stamp Okay. There's the lid. So the next thing, can't forget the embossing buddy. Where'd you go? There you are. Stampin' Up! For some reason is not selling the embossing buddy any longer. But when I was traveling and didn't have my embossing buddy with me, I got some baby powder, and I got a piece of cheesecloth and used that in place of the embossing buddy, because it's just powder, and the purpose of it is to soak up any oils that you might have, and to get rid of static electricity. So this is an old container I've had for years and years and years of clear embossing powder. And I like to kind of dump it on there so it gets all over. And as you put the powder on, you can now see where your designs are. Now I'm going to have to step aside a minute to get my heat gun. So I left it over there. Heat embossing is the very first technique I ever learned. I was in a store and I saw some stamps and I was looking at them, and the salesperson said, the lady who owns the store said, I asked her about embossing powder, and she says, oh, let me show you how it works. And I was absolutely fascinated with it, because there's something magical about watching the embossing powder turn from crystals into a clear coating. I don't know, can you see it changing? I usually stand so that the light, hold it so that the light shows against it so I can see when it turns glossy. This is old, ouch. This is old embossing powder, and it seems to take a while to melt, longer than usual. And it is possible to overheat and actually drive it into the cardstock so that you don't have that nice gloss to it. Let's see. Dang, looks like I didn't get embossing powder on that spot. Well, anyway. Okay, so can you see how it shines? This spot right here, there's no embossing powder, apparently. But the effect will still be cool. Okay, so next thing is to brayer a dark color over everything. Could use, ooh, they'd be pretty with Night of Navy. I think I might try that. I used Shaded Spruce on the sample card, but let me get Night of Navy. Because I really do like the blues and the greens and navy. Let's see how much ink is left in there. Okay. Oh, come on. And then you start brayering. To color in your background. And the darker you get it, the more startling the contrast is. So what do you guys think of the new catalog? I think it has some very, very cool sweets in it and stamp sets. I did not order everything at first. Do have to have a budget of some sort. Or watch my budget, I should say. I have a budget, yeah, but I don't follow it, so it's good to... So I didn't order everything. And now, as a demonstrator, we can pre-order for the holiday catalog, which is coming, will be active on August 4th, my birthday. That'd be a great birthday present. If everybody ordered big orders out of the holiday catalog. That would be so cool. However, it's cool just that it's coming out. Okay, I think that'll be dark enough. And I do like the navy blue. Night of Navy. Oh, come on. No. Sorry about that. My guard dogs are on duty and they heard something. Okay, now you buff it, and that removes the dark off the embossed area to expose the color behind. Like that. Totally entirely different look because I used the Night of Navy. So here was using Early Espresso, Night of Navy, and this was the Shaded Spruce. And I'm not sure which I like. I like them all. So let's go ahead and finish out the card. I already have this part done. I'm going to put hush. Be quiet. And I pre-stamp and cut out using this so sweetly stitched dies, using the medium-sized one here. With the greeting, this comes with the stamp set with the Forever Fern. It says, "To a friend that makes me smile." I'm going to pop that on with a couple, first, to decorate up that, I took a little bit of this cording. It's from Forever Greenery trim number 2. And I put a couple of strips on the back of Stampin' Seal. And I fastened one end of the cord to that and wrapped it around. Like so, to decorate the tag a bit. Like to have a little bit of bling all the time. And then fastened it off on the back. This trim is easy to unravel. You can see how the end is unraveling. Now I'll put some pop dots on it. During the month of July, you can earn coupons to be redeemed in August, and for every $50, I believe it is, that you purchase, you get a coupon, a $5 coupon. And you get a code, an email with a code for it, and you need to save those codes so that when you order in August, you can use them. So with this bow, so the trim is fairly thin and I wanted a little more substantial bow. So what I did was, I got a bow maker, and I doubled the thread And then I wrapped it about 3 times around. That's more than I need by a long shot. Try that again. That's a little better. Quiet, Blake. I would not have been able to do this by hand if I had had to hold on to the bow and everything. There. And put that on with a glue dot. Ooh, I like this. And stay down there. Guess I should have put the glue dot on the other side. Oh, it'll be okay. Turn these down a little bit more. And there you have it. To a friend that makes you smile. So that's this, the Joseph's coat. It's easy technique to do, and it has a really nice effect to it. So thank you for watching. Before you leave, I'm going to show you my stamping buddy.